Hello, Galaxy. Chris Perillo here. I was trying to figure out. Oh, yeah, look. I did it. I printed the giant minifigure and also another Flexi Stormtrooper. I was like, what was I going to print right now? I wanted to try to get through some of this red and realize I may need some bigger trinkets for kids on Halloween. So I'm doing a Stormtrooper, a Wexter Mini Stormtrooper that hopefully will survive. And if anything, like if a little kid comes, like, well, I don't have a small I don't want to give him a small trinket. I'm like, well, here's a bigger one. So I may be printing some of the bigger Wexter trinkets or figures or figurines. Oh, thank you for the subscription.
Shani just resubscribed for 3 months. What's
All right.
going, my man?
Well, I still have blackjacks and candy corn. So for every sub, I'll do a candy corn. Yeah. Since you started the day off right. Speaking of starting the day off right, I did a live video on YouTube, and I don't think the live chat saved along with it, which was just kind of disappointing because I thought it would have, or I thought it should have, saved alongside the video.
Monsoon
But
Josh
I guess I must not have talked.
X300 today in Star Wars history in 2013. The season 1 to 5 box set for the Clone Wars was released
Yes.
on DVD and Blu-ray.
Pretty sure that was before or right around the time that they released season 6 on Netflix. That's when I caught up on all that. Monsoon Josh. All right, Monsoon Josh. For every 100 bits cheered. Blackjacks. Not Halloween yet. Yo. So, anyway, I did that today. That was it was fun, actually. It was a shorter live video. But my hope is that the next time it happens,
Matt Kachusa cheered X100.
thank you, that I'll remember to choose the chat replay, because I don't think that saved the default. The default may not have saved this last time, which is just, it's really, 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 really weird. Like, very weird how that worked. But anyway, so I have to remember, like, to see that. I skipped over it, like, the last time. Thank you, Mad Cat. Here's a blackjack for you, or for me. I don't know if it's exposure therapy, but I'm getting used to that. Yeah. Are you going into lurking again, Shauna? Shunan? Sorry. I went on a tear with shorts today, too. Like funny shorts. I'm going to try to crack the nut with shorts. I believe that the way to take off is to basically do remixes of other people's audio. So like I did on Instagram and TikTok, and yeah, I posted this. You can post original stuff anywhere, right? But like, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. It's just that mine are 3D printed. Yeah. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet. It's just that mine are 3D printed. What I did was as I'm scrolling through the feed, I listen for audio, and if someone has something that I feel is applicable.
I mean, then look at this then. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. I mean, then look at this then. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. I mean, then.
But it makes sense because the audio is there on, right there on, well, that was Instagram. Or like, there's this one that was on TikTok.
In terms of money, we have no money.
So that's like when your kids ask if they can upgrade their phone. So I try to like, I put a spin on it, right? And then there was one on, hey, Bear, good to see you. On YouTube, if you go over to my YouTube, the tech YouTube here, look at the latest short. You may get this, oops, bang YT. This is the one that I don't know if it's going to take off or not. It seems that on the weekends it's a little slower, but this is the audio.
Are you an Apple or a Samsung man?
I'll show you my, this is my cell phone.
How do you tweet on that thing?
Alexander, it's falling apart as a matter of fact.
So how do you tweet?
I don't.
Are you an Apple or a Samsung man?
I'll show you my. This is my cell phone.
How do you tweet on that thing?
Alexander, it's falling apart, as a matter of fact. That's.
So how do you tweet?
I don't.
Are you an Apple or
So
a Samsung?
that was a remix from YouTube. So, you know, you got to achieve, there's a certain, sorry, I'm a little close. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out what the easier path is. And it seems like it's a little easier to remix audio that somebody else did and put your spin on it than to create something original. I look like Biden for 3 seconds. Thank you. I don't want to get political, but I guess I don't really mind things that have been happening lately. My brother is brother and wife are up to their eyeballs in student debt. I paid off my student loans, but hey, if it gets them further along, I'm happy for them. So can't complain. And by the way, my new, hang on, is that loose? No. Okay. My Windows finally updated to the new Windows 11 right before I started the stream, so I'll have to reboot here soon. Tonight, I'll do that after the stream, certainly. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what I can do for the shorts. YouTube is more difficult for the short videos because there aren't a lot of people using it the same way. Like there's a lot of like original stuff on YouTube or like music. I'm like, yeah, I can't remix any of this. Whereas TikTok is a minefield. Like there's so much to remix on TikTok. So much to remix. And some of it plays well. Like if you use the captions, some of it will play well cross-platform, but you definitely have to use the captions for context if you're going to do that. So I'm slowly but surely I'm like, oh, it's a little easier and you can get just as much attention out of remixing audio as opposed to like creating something. I mean, I did the original thing, like when I can do an original thing. But I feel like that is, if I had a strategy now, I'm like, okay, I think that'll work. But the problem is it's different for every freaking platform. Because you can't really, it doesn't work as well when you re-upload a short to, or a TikTok to YouTube necessarily. Although I'll experiment with that. Like, you know, when your kid asks you to upgrade their phone, or, you know, the one that I think is, you know, might be good. Even though I can't claim the audio, so the last thing I want to do is get in trouble, and especially on YouTube, especially this early. But I'm remixing, so that is what I'm going to do, or try to at least. I should remix like famous tech YouTuber shorts and make them silly. That'll be my goal. I was trying to get the photos staged to do the comparison, and for some reason I couldn't. I have to open each one individually, which just seems like asinine. Oops. No, oops. The weather is still frightful here. Still very, very frightful. It'll get like in a week from now, it'll be so much nicer here in Seattle. So much nicer. Yeah, it looks like I have to. This just seems really weird that I've got to update. I've got to put each one of them in there one at a time. Yeah, let me go to the weather says unhealthy air. Wait, Diana. As long as the kids aren't outside playing right now, because that's one thing you don't want. You don't want unhealthy air. I thought I did this much easier. Like last time, I thought I opened it like an entire directory, or dragged and dropped everything in there. And this is where photo comparisons get very tedious. Honestly, having to drag and drop each one of them in there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. So I'm going up against the Pixel 7 Pro. So The nice thing is Windows gives you better metadata readings on the tabs, which is so much nicer. We should be getting your first cold front. Oh, down in Florida, nice. Nutty Buddy cereal came out this. What? I forgot my cereal. I gotta go grab my cereal. Frack. Okay, y'all, please give me a minute. Sorry. Totally spaced on it. This was on sale. $1.79 or whatever. I totally spaced on it. I'm gonna have to look for Nutty Buddy. Raisin Bran. Crunchy Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran with oat clusters. So I don't like raisins. I really do not like raisins. But this is on sale. I'm like, it's been so long since I had a raisin cereal. So I was thinking of trying a Raisin Bran for the first time in probably decades. I used to like the raisin, crunchy raisin. Oh, the raisin was like in a shell. The raisin shell ones. This is the only time you're ever gonna catch me eating raisins ever. A Walmart exclusive? Oh, then I'm screwed. Because our Walmarts around here suck. Like, for everything. They suck. Alright, let's see how the Raisin Bran works here. Fix him, dude. Will eat things he doesn't like if they're cheap enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, please tell me Diana did not. Okay. She waters down milk a lot, and that annoys me. So hopefully she did not water this down. Seems like she might have watered this down. She watered this down. For a generic raisiny cereal, it's not bad. Hello, Archlord Twitch. Hey, Liz. This is the only time you're going to catch me eating raisins on my own volition. Howdy, Darth Gum. See, I think I can stomach the raisins. In this context. Because they're like, you chew them, but you're chewing it with like milk and bran and like these granola clusters. Took a gamble. I'd say this gamble paid off. Idle Hams, good to see you. Pink, I'm daring. I don't like raisins either. It's been over a decade since I last had raisin cereal. But I saw this, grabbed it. Very good. No, I generally don't like raisins in things. It's weird. Good to see you, Disturbed Medic. Eric Abernathy. K2. I wouldn't eat them straight. Like, if you offered me a box of raisins, I used to love them, as a kid, but... I can eat them if they're mixed with other things. Except, and this is a big exception, no way do raisins belong in cookies. Oh, hey, is it Chivis? Good to see you. Welcome in. Happy to have you here. If you remember watching the vlogs on YouTube, they are still there. In fact, I've got to edit this week's vlog tomorrow. That'll be going up over the next couple of days. Hello, Stone Monkey Research. Pretty good. Except I don't want, like, raisin stragglers. That would be bad. You always hated raisins. You like other dried fruit, though. Yeah, I wonder why that is. I like dates. I like cranberries. I don't know. You left a sealed can of raisins in pantry for a year. Was surprised what I saw when I broke the seal. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, Stone Monkey, watched the virtual TMBG concert? Last time I went was pre-COVID with a friend. That was a blast. Chocolate chips belong in cookies. Exactly. Nothing worse than biting into a chocolate chip cookie only to find out they're raisins. Makes me angry. What? Isn't that weird about food? It's not the texture. It's not even the flavor, obviously. I think it's like the context of what it's around. Oh my god, K2. Yikes. You're kidding. Hey everybody, now we know where Disturbed Medic got the disturbed in his handle from. He likes raisins. He prefers oatmeal raisin cookies over a chocolate chip. No. No. That was pretty good. Where's the second pour? I don't know. I have a feeling. Here's my feeling. So, I have a feeling this cereal is going to stick around for like 6 months. Diana's not going to eat it. I'd be surprised. She might. She doesn't mind raisins. She likes them. Or at least she says she does. Because my mom got Jedi some raisins to take with her in packing her school lunches. And every time I pack them in her lunch, Jedi wouldn't touch them. So, no. Jedi's not going to eat the raisins. You like all cookies? Well, there are two cookies I don't like. I don't like animal crackers. And I don't like Nilla wafers. Those two are no-go. Love, snickerdoodles. Ginger snaps. Sugar. My mom used to make a cookie. We called them Georgia Snowcaps. But I don't know what they're called other than that. Oh, I love ginger snaps. Uh-oh. Idle Hams is asking, should I cancel my iPhone 14 Pro Max and jump ship to Android? What was your final verdict? Well, it depends. If your entire life is wrapped up in iOS and you have a Mac and it's working for you and you don't mind or don't see any of the software inconsistencies, I'd wonder why you'd think of switching. So I'm going to come to that. Why are you thinking of switching? Wait for Tesla's phone? There's going to be a Tesla phone? No. I don't believe it. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love to see more competition. Peanut butter with Nutella baked in the middle. Ooh, that sounds good. Made a cookie that one of the doctors at work dubbed crack cookie. Nice. Oh, RC Maniac was handing out cookies. Were there candy corn stuffed in those cookies? Poor reviews on the 14. Well, here's the thing. As far as an iPhone goes, it's fast. It's ample. But there are certain things that, a software specifically, that drive me up the wall. And quite honestly, I don't think the camera's all that great either. So, if, trying to think of how to state this. I tweeted this out last night, this morning, can't remember. I've been doing a photo shootout, right? This is what I was actually getting staged to do here, Idle Hams. Oh, you're having SE now? Oh. Well, I've been doing a shootout between phones, like the Pixel 7, 6, the iPhone 14, the S22 Ultra, and I'll tell you, while there's nothing that was perfect in every scenario, the Pixel 7 Pro camera is damn good. Like, really good. Like, amazing. Shockingly good. The Pixel 7 Pro. There was only maybe like one or two shots when it came to macro shots that I didn't like as much over the 6. But for the most part, I felt the Pixel 7 held its own. I felt it did a pretty dang good job. And this is where I've been debating, instead of doing 4 different videos with the Pixel 7, just doing one video. and comparing all 4 cameras in just one video. It may save a massive amount of time. I'm not sure what people would watch, right?
We have a Brit.
Because it's like relative.
Sith Lord Brit has requested your presence immediately.
Brit.
Sincerely, Sith Lord Brit the Third.
Casey, is it a hang on? Is this a joke? Or are you kidding about this Tesla phone? So, oh no. Tesla Pi phone to take on iPhone, launch in December? What? No. There's no way, dude. This has got to be a lie. There's no chance. No way. I think the internet wants it. But, like, I think there's no way. I would have heard about it. So, yeah, Idle Hams. If you're looking for a good photo... Okay, I tell you what, Idle Hams. This is what... I got all this damn filament in my keyboard. This is what I was getting ready to do. And I'm going to go, for you, I'm going to load the... how can I do this more easily? This is so friggin' tedious. I cannot believe that... Oh, wait. There was an easier way. Sorry, I was thinking I needed to do something else, but... From the iPhone. And, okay, the Pixel. Okay, so that's the Pixel 7 Pro. Let me get the photos loaded. And then I'll show you side by side. You can judge for yourself. Yeah, iPhone 7 Pro Max. Okay, so I've got to open up, sort by date. No, not like that. Okay. Can I throw up an info? Where's the info box? File info? There we go. Yeah, unfortunately it's got the location in there, and that's what bothers me. So what I can do, I wonder if I could just black that out in post. Alright, give me a second, buddy. Since you're asking, Idle Hands, let me help. Oh, Idle Hands got smacked. Sorry for the ads. Sorry. Which view was it? Was it screen share view? Yeah, that was it. Mostly. Sorry about this. Just trying to figure out how to get it kind of centered. Is that about right? Yeah. Okay. I wish it cropped automatically. But, let's go back and forth, right? So we've got, yeah. And let me turn on my camera. So Idle Hams. As soon as Idle Hams comes back, you got smacked with ads and you're subscribed. Weird, BTW. Sure, Tesla phone can act as a boat for a short time. Well, more power to him. Honestly. Oh, there's that and there's that. Which one? Oh, that's camo. Let's do this. Let me turn on my mask. Or the filter. And no, this one. Yeah, there we go. It's a little cleaner. So you can see me in the corner here. 7 ads? Holy sh... Sorry, Idle Hams. Sorry. Well, I was getting it set. I was getting... Hey, well, here's the thing. I was getting this set for you. I was getting this ready for you. To show you side by side. And this is the Pixel 7. That's the Pixel 7, and that's iPhone. iPhone 7. iPhone 7. This is Pixel, iPhone, Pixel, iPhone. So this to me, this picture, the difference between these two is the most dramatic, and probably the one I want to highlight the most. Oh, hey, thank you, Alien Industrial, for the cheer. Thank you. I almost missed that. Thank you for that. Let me make sure I can see everything that you're typing in chat, because otherwise I'm full screen here. Wow, thank you. So I'm just gonna record this video if you don't mind. We're gonna go back to this shot here, and I'm just gonna record this video like live to tape, basically. Candy corn for subs. Yes, I'll have to queue it up. I've got a bag of a little left, but I was gonna plow through doing this video because we've got Idle Hams here asking about whether he sells his iPhone 14 Pro Max and goes with a Pixel or goes with an Android. And I'm like, well, let me try to show you kind of what you may be getting into, especially with the Pixel. And I also took shots with the old Pixel and with the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So let me see if I can. You won't see that right now. Let me move this here. I'm just rejiggering a few things, makes it a little easier. The current image looks terrible. Does it? Let's pixel peep. So that's at 214%. But if I go zoom to fit, and then at 100%, there's that, right? And then if I flip over to the iPhone and do the same, go to 100%, theoretically go back and forth between this one and this one. It's kind of hard to say because you can't. This is the Pixel, that's the iPhone, and the iPhone to me still. If I zoom in here, I mean, oops, sorry, did not mean to zoom right into the Stormtrooper's crotch, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. And granted, this is pixel peeping at 100%, way beyond 100%. Versus going in a little closer on the Pixel, it just seems less cartoony, less washed out. So better balance. And if you're going side by side, right? If you're going here and here, it does look like between the two, the iPhone has a sharper contrast. And that the Pixel is a bit better balanced, for the lack of a better way of explaining it. Not washed out. The Pixel looks more washed out in terms of a little less bland, and the iPhone's a little more vibrant. And between the two, honestly, you'd be hard pressed to go, okay, one is clearly better than the other, but it depends on what you're looking at. But if I go to these other images, and I do want to record a video here soon. Hey, Unsimon, here's the thing. That versus this. This is the iPhone, and there's the Pixel. iPhone, it just looks horrible. It seriously looks overprocessed versus the Pixel, which is a bit more crunchy than I like, but I still feel is a better shot. So we've got the prototype Boba Fett here, right? And if I go to 100%, bring up Boba Fett, nice clean white. The dark troopers, or the white dark troopers, they're not blown out as much. There's still some texture to them. A nice cooler Ahsoka trooper there. So, everything else, all things considered, nice color, etc. But when I go through and go to the iPhone, right? Where's the info? Oops. That's not what I want. I'm losing. Where's my menu? File info is Alt-Enter. Okay, I gotta remember Alt-Enter. If I go to the iPhone and then do the same thing, Control T. I gotta remember these shortcuts. Control T. It says 1-to-1. Oh, Control 1. Oh, that won't work because that's my keyboard shortcut. Frack. Dang it. Okay, I can't use that shortcut. Okay, back to this. But look at the iPhone. Look, it's just blown out. It's ultra, almost yellow. The Dark Troopers are definitely blown out. Sharpness is generally okay. Color is okay, but the whites, I mean, to me, it's just a stark contrast. It is a stark contrast. Alt-Enter. Between the Pixel image and the iPhone image. Like, to me, it's night and day, and the Pixel just stomps it. Stomps it. This is just one example between those two images. A warmer iPhone image and this just blown out, just not attractive, crunchy, versus something that is far more aesthetically pleasing, at least to my eye. Second image is definitely having exposure issues. That's the iPhone. This is what you're seeing here is the Pixel. And again, I'll start recording here in a second. Not too many dramatic differences between the iPhone here and the Pixel. Pixel's a bit cooler. The iPhone's a bit warmer. But generally speaking, I feel the color was great on the iPhone. But they both took an evenly good shot. A little more rich, a little more vibrant on the iPhone compared to the Pixel. The Pixel does run a bit more cool. Took these two shots between the Pixel and the iPhone, and I feel the iPhone kind of over-processed, over-sharpened. And the Pixel did a better job. And if I go to zoom in, right, things are sharp, but not to the point where they're over-sharpened. Whereas the iPhone, especially indoors, just feels just a hair, not by much, but just a hair over-sharpened to me. And it's hard to do this, complete side-by-side, at least in this particular application. But I felt like it was a very good... The Pixel... The only time I had issues with the Pixel sharpness is specifically with, portrait stuff. You're seeing ghosting along the edges? I hadn't seen too much. Pointed out to me, though. Colors on the iPhone look better. Well, see, that... It all depends on what you're looking for, right? Some people are looking for this, that, or the other thing. Let me... I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna record this because I've been wanting to do this anyway. So I might as well just kill two birds with one stone with Idle Hams being here. Andor is not boring. It's a great show, and I'm glad they have it. It's different. That second set with the Boba Fetts. You saw ghosting? On the Pixel? Huh. I guess I didn't. Let's go full. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's probably the focal point. All right, here, like around the perimeter of the Boba Fett cape. Thank you, Liz. That annoyed me the first time I saw something like that, and then I realized it's focus. So I chose that was basically because I focused on Vader in this photo for all of them. And so if you see something that's got a blurry edge, it's not a lack of sharpness, it's the focal length. You can even see it along the side of the Dark Troopers too. Now I'm not saying it did a great job, but I gotta remember not to use escape because that clears out. As opposed to if I zoom in here, it may be a better blur around the edges, but like a completely blown out, utterly, devastatingly bad photo. Bad, wrong, no, for shame. All right. Here we go again. Make sure you can't see that. All right. You loved both Book of Boba Fett, Mando Built, Andor vs. Snorefest. It was different for sure. It's not. It's an exposure thing with HDR mapping. Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't bother me as much. I mean, if I had to choose, here's the thing. If I had to choose between the two photos, I would choose that, despite its shortcomings. Think the Pixel might be more what I'm looking for? We're not done. Let's do a full-on rundown. And trust me, I can even do comparison shots. I did a comparison shots against the S22 Ultra, which I feel did a better job in some of these images. But that's not what I have loaded right now. Charo. Would you say the iPhone camera is worth the extra cost over the Pixel over just talking camera? Absolutely not. No chance. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to record a video, screw ups and all. Hello, Galaxy. I have been playing with 4 different phones over the past few days. The Pixel 7 Pro, the Pixel 6 Pro, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, if only to do photo comparisons. So you're going to see, at least for this time, photo comparisons between the Pixel 7 Pro and the Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max, all with the latest software updates, if only to give you a better idea of what you might be getting into. And I'm doing this and recording it live on Twitch and having questions being asked, including the recent one. Would you say the iPhone is worth the extra cost over the Pixel if we're just talking camera? And my assessment is absolutely not. And that is based upon experience, not just in general with the software. And that's not to say that the iPhone photo output is horrendous, at least in my eyes. But the Pixel is a fantastic, and the 7, specifically the 7 Pro, is a fantastic camera. I can't say that the Pixel 7 Pro beat the 6 Pro in every instance, but I'll be doing that shootout in another video. First, we're going to start with my play shop here. We've got the iPhone shot and the Pixel shot, and between the two, I mean, you can see the difference pretty much right away. The iPhone is definitely more contrasty. I feel both of them handle colors very well. Perhaps a little more accurate with the iPhone compared to the Pixel camera, but not by much. The iPhone, of course, is heavy on the exposure and the sharpness, almost to the point of over sharpening, especially when you start looking at like the Stormtroopers, and that's in sharp contrast to the Pixel, which has a bit more texture in texture in terms of colors. Like, I feel like each one of these Stormtroopers has a slightly different tone of white to it, and none of these seem to be over sharpened or over processed. At least, again, at this distance here with the 1x camera lens. The only thing that I would say, with this particular indoor shot, indoor lighting, not night mode or anything like that, between the two, yeah, the Pixel definitely looks a little more balanced compared to the iPhone, but both of them are relatively usable shots. But look at those troopers in the middle. You have a bit more color or tone to the white on the Pixel, the whites on the Pixel versus the whites in the iPhone. Again, this is typical for the iPhone cameras for the past couple of generations, which has been frustrating to me. We're going to move to the next image, and this is an even more dramatic image. Now, you're looking at this shot thinking, it's not that great. I mean, it's fine. It's ample. This is the white Boba Fett prototype there in the foreground, focal point being the Darth Vader Boppet that I just got. I mean, they were back here hanging out anyway, so I just took the picture. It's fine. This is an okay shot. I wasn't necessarily in love with it, but it was fine. Then I looked at the iPhone shot, and I'm like, wow. Not only did it like make all the whites warm, and I have like, if I have like a tone in this room, it is definitely not in warm light. I tend to run a bit more natural, which the iPhone may pick up as more warm. But I feel like between the Pixel shot and the iPhone shot, I would easily go with the Pixel. This is me. It's all subjective. You may say, oh, no, the iPhone's better. I don't care. You can like what you want to like. You can say something's better. That's fine. That's you. If you were to ask me, if you were to say, Chris, you have to decide right now which of these two shots would you take, I would take the Pixel. Again, in this shot, as I would with the other shot, personally. Because you can always adjust other things. So I'm going to zoom in. This is a problem that I've had with the iPhone. And the Dark Troopers, these are going to be, slightly out of focus because the focal point was was Darth Vader, which is slightly more in the foreground. But the whites are just blown out. Not only I just feel like it did not do an accurate job, but the whites got blown out. which is maddening to me because you'll never get them back. Versus a slightly more balanced pixel shot, cleaner, more easily adjusted in post. Neither one of them necessarily blew me away in terms of a shot. I mean, it's just a shot, toy photography. But for the most part, I feel this is just an area where the Pixel has shined with at least indoor photography, and especially when we're talking about objects. The iPhone just doesn't like objects as much, seemingly, as the Pixel device did. Now, this shot between the two, the iPhone here and the Pixel, I wouldn't say it's a wash. I actually prefer the warmer tones of the Jabba playset here on the iPhone compared to the Pixel. But either one of them is fine. But again, for this particular shot, given Jabba's got warm tones, I definitely prefer warm over cool. But there are both these. Honestly, just for argument's sake, if I go 100%, you'd be hard pressed. You can see all the dust on Jabba to tell the difference between, unless you're really pixel peeping, and even when you do, to tell the difference between the iPhone shot and pixel peeping on the Pixel shot. Like, they're like almost exactly the same. Like, it's a good, they're good images either way, which is happy, for me to say. The next two shots between the iPhone and the Pixel, not much of a difference, honestly, not much. If anything, I would say the iPhone once again has problems over sharpening, slightly over sharpening. I'm going to zoom in here at 100%, and you can see some of the details here. It's just like the 9 num, just a hair, a skosh, not bad. This is not a bad shot on the iPhone, but compared to the Pixel just, I'm not going to say is softer, but it's less harsh. The sharpening is just, it's on point. And if I had, if I were to make a sweeping statement about what are your takeaways between the Pixel camera and the iPhone camera, or the output at least, with all the processing and everything, I would say it comes down to sharpness. And the iPhone tends to over sharpen. And the Pixel tends to have a perfect sharpness. At least to my eyes. Outdoor shots at the max zoom button. So, like, each camera's got a different max zoom, so I didn't want to get into, because you can't easily compare a 5x to a 5x, or a 4x to 4x, or a 3x to 3. Like, I just went with, like, the highest zoom that you could get, optical zoom, outdoors, and both were ample. You could always get closer. You could always, like, zoom super, super far in. This is the Pixel shot. The iPhone shot, you got to, obviously wider. Pixels, cropped in again. I mean, not cropped in, but it is zoomed in, so it doesn't have as wide a view, because you were able to zoom in a little further here on the Pixel. But ample for this particular shot. Just depends on what kind of photography you want to take. Now, the big thing about the Pixel, and this is very difficult to compare, Pixel's got the super res zoom, and I don't want to compare super res zoom to what Apple does, because honestly, it isn't fair. You're talking digital zoom anyway, but the two are in completely different classes. We've got an outdoor shot again, fall leaves, between the Pixel shot, and you're probably eyeballing this anyway, so, that's the Pixel and that's the iPhone, because the iPhone, a bit more vibrant. I'm not saying that the Pixel image is flatter, but it is not as punchy as the iPhone shot. I mean, it's kind of depressing, not because of fall, I love fall, but the fall leaves haven't started to spring yet. They haven't changed. The leaves have not changed yet, so I haven't had a chance to take a lot of good shots. The thing that bothers me, though, about a lot of the processing, even outdoors, is that it gets to be an over-sharpened mess to me on the iPhone. As much as I like the punchier color, if I zoom in again on the Pixel, there's sharpness, but it's defined. It just feels well-defined and not over-defined. I'm not looking at a muddy, over-sharpened mess on the Pixel, despite color possibly being a bit more vibrant, or definitely, at least in my eyes, being a lot more vibrant on the iPhone. I love toy photography, love it, and this is an area where I was not really impressed with either one of them. This is the macro mode on both of the cameras, and both of them I feel failed I mean, they did well. They took the picture, but like they both are flat. There's no depth of field at all. Nothing whatsoever. You know, and both of them blew out the Skeletor, the where the sun was reflecting off the Skeletor skull. But again, what I was, you can be impressed with the sharpness of the detail, but the lack of depth, I feel, is where these two images are a wash to me. You're going to notice other, other differences between the two as well, largely color and contrast. And that comes down to a personal preference. But between the two, I was disappointed in their macro shots because of an extreme lack of depth. If anything, if you're to ask me, well, which do you prefer? I like the fact that the shadows seem to be deeper behind Skeletor in the pixel shot versus the iPhone, which is definitely, made the shadows less shadowy. It makes Skeletor pop a bit more in the pixel shot. Sticking outdoors, one of my new favorite paths between the Pixel and the iPhone. There's the pixel shot. Green, lush green, greenery, so green. And an almost seemingly cooler image from the iPhone. There's a warmer Pixel. I know, I can't believe I'm saying that. Warmer Pixel, cooler iPhone. And look at the path, like right where it leads off and the sun is hitting the path. On the iPhone, it's a bit bright, but the Pixel seemed to bring out the warmer dirt tones there, as well as the tree trunk just beyond it, not too blown out. So let's go ahead and zoom in just to show. So we're talking about this particular area, right, where the path goes off. That's the Pixel. These are outdoor shots, everything here unedited versus the iPhone, just blown out, just completely blown out. At least seemingly, The other difference is, I wouldn't say that dramatic apart from the tones and the details that were kept, and I felt that the Pixel once again nailed it. Nailed it. Going back inside, because I love my indoor shots. This is a wide-angle camera, wide angle on both the iPhone and the Pixel. And I feel both of them did a good job. Now, I know this is probably not what you would use in a wide angle, but I was just curious to know how the sharpening went as I zoomed into these Atari text labels, my collection. Good, decent, workable shot. These, to me, these are the kinds of shots that I would take in the field. Like if I was sitting in front of, someone's Atari text label collection, I would want to take a picture of it. And so I figured, I'll just use the wide angle lens. So between the two, the Pixel and the iPhone, I feel the iPhone, once again, just a hair sharper than it needs to be versus a perfect sharpness on the Pixel. Indoor, selfie, not wide angle, because otherwise my face looks weird. This is the iPhone. This is the Pixel. I feel both of them did a fantastic job with HDR, with the screen behind me. Fantastic job. My face is definitely a bit more contrasty on the Pixel shot versus the iPhone shot. You have to, again, different lenses, so my face is going to look wider in one and squished in the other. I swear, I did not move. But I feel both of them did a fantastic job. Both of them. So if we zoom in to take a look at sharpness, I feel the iPhone had a perfect shot. You see all my stubble and whatnot. You see my eyebrows, well defined. That's the iPhone. The Pixel, however, was a bit softer. It was a bit muddier. So that was kind of disappointing on the selfie for me. Just a bit, not by a hair, just a bit muddier between the two. As much as I feel I appreciated the look of my head, my face shape on the Pixel more, my head looks more like it's been squished on the iPhone. But it was sharper. So again, it's kind of a wash here. It all comes down to your preference. Indoor selfie, low light. We've got the Pixel and we've got the iPhone. Both did a fair job. I only have light coming, from the side. So I feel like in terms of color and neutrality and skin tone, I feel the Pixel did a better job with my skin tone. than a slightly yellowed version of me in the iPhone from the iPhone. There's the Pixel in the iPhone. If we go in a little closer, this is something that I've had a problem with the iPhone camera, the selfie camera, especially in low light. It gets really, the details get really muddy real quick if you don't have enough light on the selfie camera, which is very disappointing. Given how many people take selfies in the dark, or in low light. I felt that it was just a hair sharper or hair better, so to speak, with the Pixel in this case. The detail, I felt I had more details in my face come out, as well as a truer to life me in this shot. Like, once you lose details, you just can't get them back. Indoor shots, again, between the iPhone and the Pixel. Not too much of a difference here. And oddly enough, I feel the iPhone wasn't as contrasty as the in this particular shot between these two shots as the Pixel was. The iPhone definitely ran warmer. We're gonna go into at 100%. There's a wolf and a stormtrooper. I don't feel like any of the details or the white on this particular stormtrooper was blown out. It's a good thing to look for me. Going back to the iPhone, which again seemed like everything was overprocessed. Too sharp. This is just way too sharp. Whites, though, came out, which I was very happy to see from the iPhone. But I just don't... it's just too sharp. I know, I keep saying it, but y'all want to know, and here are the examples of, to me, indoor, low light, from the Pixel, perfect sharpness. Perfect. Like, I would not have tweaked the thing versus the iPhone. Coming back to the play shop here, low light, night sight, or whatever they call it. Well, they call it night sight on the Pixel here versus the iPhone. So I feel that, giving them both max exposure, because you can tweak max exposure when you're doing the night mode on either one of them. And I feel like the Pixel pulled in just a bit more light. I feel like it was a bit dimmer on the iPhone. And if we zoom in here, kind of look around, not perfect detail, a little muddy. Now this is at 100%. If I zoom in a little closer, we're going to pixel peep here. This is at 313% right now on the iPhone. Just muddy to me, low light on the iPhone. Let's go back to the Pixel. And the night sight, honestly, the Pixel night sight has always impressed me. So this is at 100%, the detail here. And I'm going to try to get to close to 313%, 214, 313%. So it's not as noisy. It's not as, it's muddy because you're zoomed 313%, but at least it feels like it's better. These details seem like they're better defined. So not only was the Pixel image brighter, but I feel it was less grainy and less noisy in this extreme scenario. This might be a scenario that you'd find yourself in. You go to a party and someone's got Star Wars figures set up and you want a picture. You can see look at all you can definitely see the noise. Now, granted, I'm a little closer than I was before. I'm trying to do as direct a comparison as I possibly can between all these. So just showing you the examples between the two. But the Pixel shines with these scenarios, the low light scenarios. I've got an AT-AT. 3D printed that the other day and did a rub and buff. This is the Pixel shot. These are both, by the way, portrait mode. The Pixel shot and the iPhone shot. Both are portrait. And I know that they don't build the portrait mode on these phones specifically for non-human objects, but a lot of people love the portrait mode. I still think it's a gimmick. Neither one of them necessarily impressed me all that much. The Pixel was definitely sharper. I'm not even sure if the portrait mode even fired. Fire. In between the two, I guess I really don't have a favorite. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose the iPhone in this instance. Because there's a slightly better depth, a feeling of depth with the AT-AT. I had it slightly angled. You see a bit of noise behind the AT-AT here. This is on the iPhone. But honestly, the graininess doesn't bother me too much on certain photos. And this is the Pixel in portrait. So to me, it got a little overprocessed behind the AT-AT here on the Pixel. And maybe, in zooming in, maybe a little more sharp than I would have wanted it to be. But that's something I discovered with the Pixel. The Pixel, when taking portrait photos, tends to over-sharpen. I don't know why, but it's true. And I've got another example coming up. Portrait mode, really? Do people? Yes, people still use portrait mode. I did one a Jedi walking home from school, walking through the woods. This is the iPhone, and this is the Pixel. I feel the Pixel did a fantastic job with the portrait, but I feel the iPhone may have edged it out a bit in terms of how it handled the details. So if I zoom in, this is where the rubber meets the road, right? Like, this is just, the Pixel did not do a very good job with what should have been a very clear contrast between her hair and the background. Just did not do a very good job at all. And I do believe, it also caught the this area, handled it well, but I don't know if it handled it well between her bracelet. But it is portrait mode. Portrait mode also starts like, it seems to crop. Portrait mode seems to crop in no matter what you do at 1x. There's the iPhone shot. The iPhone shot was a bit, a little more washed out. But I feel I liked it a little more. In between these two shots, I felt it did a better job around her hair. And if you're going to do portrait mode, those are the kind of details you want to look for. Though that said, I feel that the Pixel did a better job with, and these are both 1x. The Pixel did a better job with Jedi's skin tone, by far. Jedi looks washed out here. That's a perfect skin tone. And that's the thing. Google says, oh, we've nailed our skin tones. And they did. They have. By and large, they have. Like, for real. If that's been an issue with you and photos and your family or your friends, I feel the Pixel did a good job. But as I mentioned, it over-sharpened Jedi's face there. I wasn't happy with it. And over-processed her hair down, coming down off her forehead. Now that's, again, in stark contrast with how the iPhone handled things. Maybe it didn't get a perfect color, but I feel it handled her hair better, and I feel that it did not over-sharpen. Or comparatively. See, that's the thing. Like, it may be over-sharpened, but, like, comparatively, not as much. And that's really what we're playing with here. We're comparing these two images. Oh, I guess these two may be out of order, but this is a zoom in between the this is a 3x on the iPhone and again on the Pixel. So I feel like they're both good shots. Very good. The iPhone tended to be a bit warmer. Not much else there. Night sight or night mode iPhone, night mode Pixel. Definitely brought in a lot more light from the iPhone than the Pixel. Both at max exposure or max time. Pretty sharp details on the Pixel. It got stars. You can see stars in both of the shots, oddly enough. But I feel like the iPhone was a bit blurry with the details by comparison. And you can always brighten in post. I mean, you can see the differences, right? Night and day, or night and night. There's this weird flare, though, on the Pixel image. This line, this weird line that was going there, and I didn't see it on the iPhone. So I don't know if that was flare from a nearby streetlight. Admiral Akbar's skull on a pumpkin on the Pixel versus the iPhone. So the iPhone is just bathed in orange. And granted, the light itself is a bug light, so it is casting yellow. And I feel the Pixel tried to do a better job at trying to separate the colors, but the colors were definitely more accurate there on the iPhone. This is a night mode, looking at the details here of the 3D printed object. Bathed in an orange light. I feel the Pixel tried to overcorrect and did not do a very good job with the color, but it did a way better job with the sharpness. So the color could always be adjusted in post. Sharpness, not so much. Just FYI. The moving object indoors, just the regular shooter, right? The 1X. I wanted to see how each one of them handled it. This is the iPhone. This is the Pixel. Moving object. This is a Grogu that dances and sings and everything. So that's why it's dark. But I wanted to see how well it handled like the motion blur as it was moving around. This is very difficult to capture both at the same time. But you can see in the low light the areas. This is the fuzz, if you will. It's a bit blurry on the iPhone. There's no way I know you're getting the ball there. Yeah, the ball was blurry on both because that was getting the most amount of movement. I go in here, not as bad, not truly sharp, but a little sharper. And this again could have been down to the shot. But the ball, despite moving about the same speed, I felt was captured better with the Pixel. Plus, you could always bring it into the Pixel 7 Pro Google Photos app and de-blur. So that's another bonus for any kind of blurry shots you get. Indoors, low light, Pixel, iPhone. Pixel, iPhone. I don't know why I took this shot. That's where I'm hanging out. A little warmer on the iPhone versus a cooler room on the Pixel. We zoom in here a bit. Both of them handle the HDR fairly well from across the room. There's the Pixel. Moving over there, seeing the same stormtroopers in the stormtrooper helmets. And then again, the warmer. I don't know. It's to me, this photo on the iPhone is just it's too crunchy. The details are just too. They're almost too detailed, for the lack of a better way of describing it. Are you going to be taking a lot of these types of shots? Maybe not, but you never know. Like, that's the thing about photos, is not every shot is a prime shot. Jedi indoors, this is a portrait between the iPhone indoors, low light, portrait, iPhone, Pixel. Feel both of them did a better job, but again, the Pixel over-sharpened Jedi's face, and I felt did a pretty decent job on the iPhone with her hair, although the iPhone did miss this particular area between her iPad and her face. Pixel may have done the same as well. Portrait mode is still very much in the land of gimmick to me, but y'all love it. I'm just saying, Pixel does not seemingly carry all the details over with portrait mode. iPhone, I felt, did a better job. The regular night shot mode between the iPhone and the Pixel. Pixel's definitely brighter, but warmer. Pixel did an ample job, more than ample job. Jedi was moving, too. She was a moving subject. This comes down to a matter of preference. But if I zoom in at 100, Jedi's pretty sharp. She was moving. And the tiles back there behind her, again, sharp. Versus the Pixel. Jedi's moving. Not over-sharpened. In either way. So the iPhone, I felt, could have done a better job low light. That's it. That's really everything I wanted to cover with the camera comparisons between these two cameras. Both are great. If you were to ask me which one I would carry with me, if I had to choose between two of these, given what I shoot and what I would need to shoot and what I'm accustomed to shooting, I would probably choose the Pixel 7 Pro over the iPhone. For all the aforementioned reasons. Everyone's going to have different choices. I'm not here to validate your opinion. I'm just here to share you the shots that I took. I'll be doing basically a comparison between the Pixel 7 Pro and other cameras, including the Pixel 6, in coming days, so you can stay tuned for that. If there's any particular aspect of the camera comparison tests that I might be able to do that might be fair for both cameras, if they have the same feature or the same, capturing the same light from the same distance, etc., please let me know. I'd be curious. And until then, feel free to keep asking questions. No problem. Well, Charo, you spend a lot of time working for us, and helping Photosmint. So honestly, doing something like that is the least I could do for you. Sorry, the camera. There we go. I have to readjust things because I had moved things around. Now keep in mind, that is just one camera. That is the Pixel versus the iPhone. But since you said, Charo, that you're on an iPhone, you're looking for a camera, I thought that would be the best way to show. Now, wait, if you think that's okay, before you make any decisions, tomorrow, Charo, and especially if you show up, or even if you don't, I'll be recording it anyway. I'll be doing the Pixel 7 versus the Samsung. So the Samsung camera. And let me, so here's Idle Hams. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. You're gonna flip. I'm gonna do 2 shots here. Give me a second, because I'm gonna do that. Give me 1 moment. Let me load the same photos over into the S22 Ultra. Give me a second. Because this is, I guarantee you're gonna see 2 shots, and you're gonna get the S22 Ultra. And here's what I'm gonna show you. But at first, I had to show you the iPhone. This is not gonna be a full-on video here, but give me a second. Let's flip back to screen share view. You're getting a, oops. Is this the S22 Ultra? Okay, so, oh wait, hang on. I need to close that. I need to sort. Sorry, I have to sort by date. Otherwise, this gets weird. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 shots. Was this did I do this at 10x? I think that was a 10x, yeah. That must have been a 10x lens, yeah? Okay, so here's the AT-AT on the Pixel. There's the AT-AT on the Samsung. This is the portrait mode. Samsung, AT-AT. Samsung, Pixel. It's like radically. So there's one shot that the Samsung impressed me way more. Even with portrait, impressed me way more than the Pixel. Pixel was flat, but that's the Samsung shot. Low light is that the, I think that's the Pixel. Samsung does not do good with low light. That is one thing you need to know. Yeah, that's the Samsung. It did not do as well with low light. And even zooming in, it's, oops. Details are retained about the same way, but it's just not as bright. Now, this is the other shot that I think is going to win you over. Give me a second. The Skeletor. There's the Skeletor on the Pixel, and there's the Skeletor on the Samsung. No depth of field, depth of field. You see what I'm saying? Like, oops, that was the wrong shot. Pixel, Samsung. The macro. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, like, those differences, huge. Idle ham. So those two pictures of the close-up shots, I feel, and remember, I like the Pixel in either one of those shots, but the iPhone was flat by comparison. So what I'm saying is, for toy photography, for like any kind of up-close photos, I feel that strongly, I feel that the Samsung is a better shot. There's the Pixel versus the Samsung outdoors. And I feel the Pixel did a better job here. I feel the Samsung oversharpened by comparison. Outdoor shots, max zoom. Jabba the Hutt. This is the Pixel did a better job, though it was cooler. The Samsung was a bit more, it was warmer, but a little more, washed out is probably the worst word to use for it, but I feel that could be, the exposure could be adjusted. I also feel that the Samsung did a better job between these. Remember, I didn't feel good about this versus the Apple photo. I like the Pixel one more. In this instance, I like the Samsung shot more, specifically that Boba Fett. This is closer to what it should be compared to the Pixel. The Pixel was fine. It was just a little crunched by comparison. More contrasty on the Pixel versus a slightly softer on the Samsung Galaxy Ultra. So yeah, let's see. Are there any other good shots that I could show you that would illustrate the difference between the Pixel for your use case and there's the outdoor, there's the Pixel, there's the Samsung. Samsung did a better job with color. I feel that the Pixel still did a better job with sharpness, but not by much in night shot. Those were like extreme conditions though. But like, yeah, that AT-AT, dude, like, I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, that, I was like, dude, that makes me happy. Like, there are very few shots that I take. I'm like, I took a pretty damn good picture. Well, I can thank the camera for that. So do not count out the Samsung, Charo, in the decision. Between you owe it to yourself to probably look at, and because a lot of the people out there who do the camera comparisons, none of them do toy photography. None of them do it. And it drives me nuts, honestly, because that's what, I'm taking pictures of objects all the time, like whether it's 3D printed or, taking a picture of a toy somewhere. I used to take them with pixels, and I used to like them with the pixels. But the Samsung, I will say, has blown me away in terms of the quality of what you can expect. So if you're leaning to cameras, and most of the shots that you may be interested in taking are up close, not necessarily macro, but like macro-ish, I feel you would be very well served by a Galaxy S22 Ultra, more so than a Pixel for that. Plus, you got the 10x zoom without having to worry about optical or digital zoom, I should say, because it's a 10x optical. Doesn't mean it's perfect. There's none of them. None of them are perfect. None of them. If I were to load side by side, I did. In fact, let me close this out. You get all my desktop. Oh, you can't see it right now anyway. In fact, I did. Was this in the new channel? Give me a second. My new short isn't doing well. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, weekends for shorts kind of suck. One moment. Camera test. There we go. This is the iPhone 4. This is a long ass video, but this you may want to watch. It's up to you. This is between the S22 Ultra and the iPhone, Charo. Or sorry, that's S22 and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That video right there, Charo. So that's when a dedicated camera turns it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're carrying a camera, which obviously y'all are, it's a different story. Using your Fuji for publication shots, looking at the iPhone or the phone for bench shots, video clips, streaming from the bench. That's up to you. This though, the video I shot there is probably, because I'm not going to do this again because I already did it. That ended up being like a half hour long, and I was trying to explain all the big differences between the two, like zooming in, cropping, showing basically the same kinds or similar kinds of shots. I did one. I remember we're doing one toy in here that. Oh yeah, the toy at the end. If you fast forward to the end, the dark helmet, Wexter's dark helmet shot, again, night and day. I feel that one of the best toy photography, object photography cameras out there today is the S22 Ultra for cameras. That's my opinion based upon my experience over and over and over again. Trying all the things. So I'm glad I could help one of you tonight. Hopefully everybody else picked up something as well. Here or there. Hopefully it was somewhat enlightening, illuminating. Yeah, tomorrow I may end up doing the Pixel versus the S22 full on. I'm pretty sure. Is that it? I wish I could tell. Yeah, I think that may have even been a 10x zoom. What the hell is she shouting at? Dinner? Oh, they're serving pretend food, I think. I was like, why is Jedi making dinner? Weird when that happens. Hang on. So Enigma Gal looks like she's interviewing someone. Cosplay in chat. She may be an interesting raid. Let's give her a raid tonight, shall we? And thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you for being here, Charo. I appreciate you hanging. I appreciate everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the force be with you always. I'll be on Maker Deck, 3D printing. I think some droids, some astromechs overnight tonight. To get prepared for Halloween as handouts for folks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the things that have been the thing that has been keeping me busy for the past few days is these dang camera tests. Here we go. Gonna Tusken raid Enigma Gal, and she looks like she's interviewing. Feel free to use the Tusken Raider or Perillo raid or Maker D1 raid emotes when we raid over to say hello to her interview. Here we go. Tusken raiding Enigma Gal. In 3, 2, 1. Fasty.